From Reuters, Bahrain declared martial law on March 15th, a day after National Guard forces from Saudi Arabia arrived in the Sunni-ruled kingdom to help put down weeks of protests by the island's Shi'ite Muslim majority. More than 1,000 Saudi troops rolled into the kingdom in a long convoy of armored vehicles at the request of Bahrain's Sunni rulers. The United Arab Emirates also sent in 500 police. Bahrain has been gripped by intense unrest after protesters took to the streets last month, inspired by uprisings that toppled the leaders of Egypt and Tunisia. Opposition party Wafaq is calling for a new government and a constitutional monarchy that vests the judicial, executive, and legislative authority with the people. A coalition of much smaller Shiite groups are calling for the overthrow of the monarchy. Early on, security forces killed 7 people in the protests, but subsequent rallies have been mainly peaceful. Bahrain says it had asked the Gulf Cooperation Council, a 6-member Gulf Arab bloc, for the troops in line with the Regional Defense Pact. Bahraini opposition groups, including the largest Shiite party, Wafaq, are saying they considered the appeal to foreign forces to suppress domestic dissent to be an act of undeclared war against defenseless civilians. Civilians in Bahrain are unarmed. Riot police clashed with protesters a day earlier as they tried to clear the highway before protesters surrounded police, pushing them back and setting up roadblocks. Protesters blocked off a main thoroughfare to the Bahrain Financial Harbor, a key business district in the Gulf Arab Banking Center, overwhelming riot police who fired thick clouds of tear gas and water cannons. Ibrahim Sharif al-Said, leader of Shiite opposition group Al-Wad, said the interventions will be regarded as an occupation force. We say to our brothers in the Gulf, your army is welcome when our country faces danger from outside, but we will consider them an occupation when you come to oppress the people. But the Obama administration disagrees with this point of view. White House Press Secretary Jay Carney weighed in with remarks in defense of U.S. ally Saudi Arabia.
If another country, if Iran had decided to go into another country because it felt it was the right thing to do, what would the United States be saying? I know it's a hypothetical, but this appears to be pretty serious.
Well, again, I think you have to understand we've seen the reports that you're talking about. This is not an invasion of a country.
Security forces.
It is correct, and we urge the government of Bahrain, as we have repeatedly, as well as other GCC countries, to exercise restraint and not to meet the nonviolent protests of people legitimately expressing their concerns and asking to have their voices heard with any kind of physical violence. So we call on, again, the government of Bahrain as well as other countries in the region to hear this message.